Hello, welcome to the Retro Game Club podcast, season something, episode something. This is special. We needed a filler episode. And I am Rob, and joining me is a member of the Nintendo Fun Club, Zach.
That's news to me.
Were
I don't
you
like
ever a member
fun.
pre Nintendo Power?
Not pre-Nintendo Power, no. I did briefly had a Nintendo Power subscription.
Mm-hmm. You weren't a big fan back in the day of Nintendo Power?
I don't think it was that. It was that my parents wouldn't buy it for me.
Oh.
I'm old, but I'm not that old. My parents still needed to buy me stuff.
I think, we didn't come from money or anything, but I think there are certain things that, like Nintendo Power and stuff like that, that my parents would keep forgetting about the subscriptions, or they would just see me reading it so much, and they would think, well,
right.
At least he's reading.
Yep. I'm having that kind of reaction to some of the things my kids are doing now.
Yeah.
At least he's reading. Exactly.
Yeah. Me too. So what's been happening? This is going to be an out of order episode, so it'll be funny to see.
What has been happening? Nothing good. I've got termites and I need a new fence and my shower broke.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be an expensive month.
Yeah.
I also forgot to pick my son up from school the other day.
Oh my God. So what happened? Was he just standing there?
Yeah, there was still some other kids, but it was his first week of middle school, and it gets out at 3:05, and he doesn't have any kind of a after school program yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the first week at 3:15, everybody needs to be off campus. I guess after the first week, they're going to have the library open and you can stay until 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a meeting at 3 and I get a phone call at 3:15 and it's from the school. I'm like, it's probably just one of those automated messages. And then I realized my mistake and blurted out some expletives that I won't make you edit out here and realized what was going on. So I had to rush over there. And of course there was traffic. So I ended up running the last quarter mile, but he was there. He was fine. I was more worked up about it than he was.
Okay. That's good. So it wasn't a quiet ride home where he's just glaring at you.
No. He was very chatty, just telling me about his day. So
good.
He was fine.
That's good. Yeah, we often have meetings right around school closing time, and so I always tell my kids, if I'm a few minutes late, just don't worry, just find each other. One of us will be here soon. That hasn't happened yet, though.
Oh, great. What have you been up to?
I want to say rewatching, but I didn't watch it the first time around, really. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. I've been on an 80s and 90s TV show kick lately. Shocking, on a retro podcast. Just because, other than Stranger Things and, I don't know, a lot of the Apple TV shows, nothing really grabs me. So I'm like, I'll try something I haven't tried back then. And I'm really enjoying it. It's obviously a strange show. The most fake thing about the show is the teenagers hangout after school. It's like a dark club with pool tables, and they dance, and there's famous 90s bands playing there. It reminds me of the Foot Clan from the Turtles movie, which made me want to join the Foot Clan.
Right.
So I don't know. Have you ever watched that show?
I only ever watched one episode, I think, because I heard it was a really good episode of TV, and it was, I forget the name of it, but it's like a completely silent episode. There's no dialogue.
Oh.
And I think it's way late in the season, so you're not there yet. But I didn't want to watch everything to get to that point.
Yeah, no, there's no need. It's a very, for the most part, creature feature of the week type show. So you could pop in pretty much at any time if you know the basic premise, Oh,
okay. Yeah. Good to know.
But it does make me miss, and I think this too when I watch old Star Trek stuff, it makes me miss the days when we'd have 20 plus episodes per season of a show. Because I really like the filler episodes of TV the best. It shows you how good the writing staff actually is when they go off topic.
I think it depends on the show, but I get what you're saying. But there's definitely some shows, and there's shows now on Netflix where they feel the need to make it 13 episodes. And I'm like, you could have done this in 7 and it would have been a lot better.
Or a movie. Just be a movie.
Yeah. Get it done in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, specifically I really, really like Strange New Worlds, the newest Star Trek
Okay, I haven't checked that
series.
out yet.
It's a modern OG Star Trek, and yeah, they have about 10 episodes per season, and they're I didn't like the filler one last time because it was a singing episode, it was a musical. But and I'm also like, if you're only doing 10 episodes, just
Right, you don't
get
need a
to the
filler.
point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't, I don't, the idea of a musical doesn't put me off. Actually, there's several musicals that I really like,
Yeah.
but if it's not done well, it's hard to sit through.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was done well. It's just like, listen, it's like 9:30 by the time I could sit alone and watch TV, and it's not going to
Yes.
be this musical episode because I'll probably be asleep in an hour. But you've been up to anything else other than house maintenance? That's about it.
That's about it. Still working on Wind Waker, getting, 10, 15 minutes in here and there. And I feel like I played something else or looked at something else. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I want to play, but I got to do one at a time or else I'll never finish.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I've been playing a Future Game Club game, so I'll get into that another time. But hint, it's a Switch Online game as well.
Nice. It might be a past Game Club game by the time this comes out.
Exactly. I'm sure people will know it. But this episode was your idea. This is a Rob's traveling or can't record for some reason episode. And we are ranking, I'm using in air quotes, all the Nintendo consoles. We're not doing,
We're not going to get real granular with it.
yeah, we'll likely miss some that you wished we ranked. And also, this is from the viewpoint of today. This is from perspective 2020 vision. This isn't, well, at the time, it was amazing, you know?
Right. I might say that.
Yeah, no, we will both say that for a few things. Because we actually diverged pretty good here. And
Really?
well, in one spot we diverged pretty good
Okay.
at
I
least.
felt like it was pretty similar. I was actually quite shocked at how similar it was. But
Well, I guess I'll go first here with my F tier. And I'll start with Game & Watch, just because it's just, even at the time, it was too simple. If you put it up against the Tiger games, yeah, it's way better than those, but still, you didn't want this as a kid. You wanted something else as a present, right?
I feel like this is one of those times where I'm going to say, at the time, I wanted it. It was still garbage, even at the time, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely. This
did
is
you
also
have any?
I don't think I had any, but I played my friend's Game and Watches. I what was I going to say? I was going to say that this is definitely my F tier bottom as well. But I remember playing, like, I think it was Donkey Kong, maybe Donkey Kong Jr. The book, the one that opens like a book, that's
The
Mario
DS
Brothers.
kind of one, yeah. Oh, but
Yeah.
sideways DS.
Sideways, yeah. And then and the one I remember most actually is Mario Cement Factory. But
Really?
yeah, I don't know why that one stands out in my mind, but I can kind of see it. And I was gonna try to replay a couple recently, but I couldn't do it easily. But you can emulate them in MAME now. And there's even, I think on archive.org, there's even some like Game Boy and Game Boy Color. They're called like Game & Watch galleries or something, where they put a bunch of those on there. They made it kind of play like the Game & Watch games. But also, I am not counting those new Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers ones.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, by the way, I got my son one of those because I want him. He likes Zelda. I wanted him to experience the original one, and I got a good deal. I found it used someplace, and
Nice.
he started playing it while he was going to bed, and the next day I was like, "Oh, did you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, what? Why didn't you like it?" And he's like, "I don't know. Why were there numbers the whole time?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And there's a mode where you could like play the clock. It's like a clock too.
Yes.
And he didn't realize there was multiple features and games on it.
Did he win?
So he was like just being nice to me because he knew I loved the original Zelda. He's like, it was okay.
It's like, Dad, this game sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So then I showed him. I
That's
was
funny.
like, no, you're not playing the game.
It's the most fun he ever had setting a clock, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But my next one is Virtual Boy in tier F.
Ah, yes.
I always say Virtual because of Sega. Virtual Boy. I never owned one. I played one maybe twice, and small library, weird setup. The controllers are actually kind of cool, but nah.
I think it's part of the controller evolution.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I should have gotten one while they were blowing them out for however many dollars. I don't know.
Yeah,
how low
I've thought about that. I think I would get a wicked headache from that, but I will save my Virtual Boy notes for a bit, because my next one in the F tier, slightly above the Game & Watch, would be the Wii U.
So why did you put it there?
Because, one, I never owned one, so maybe I'm being unfair, but I kind of wanted one, but there wasn't really a reason for me to get one. There was never a Zelda exclusively for it. There was never a Metroid game exclusively for it. I thought about picking one up to play Wind Waker HD remake or whatever, the HD
Shocking.
upgrade.
Considering your current pattern.
Yes. But I never did it, and I didn't have this thought at the time, but more recently I was looking at some gameplay of the HD remake, and I don't like it as much. It's too smooth. I don't know. I really like the way that they did the cell shading on the GameCube. So
That's right. The Switch Online one is the GameCube version, right?
Right. Which downside is there's a big trek at the end where you're just sailing all over the place finding pieces of the Triforce, which I don't remember actually being that much of a hassle, but a lot of people complain about it, and supposedly that's better in the HD remake, but I never played it, so I don't know anything. But anyways, I'm making this one F tier because it was just a system that I feel like Nintendo failed to properly support with games, and there was just no reason to really buy it from my perspective. I'm sure there's people who love the system. My apologies.
Yeah, I mostly agree. However, I'll put out the rule here now that the first time a system is mentioned in a tier, we just talk about it then.
Okay,
So
sounds good.
We're making up
I'll
rules as we go.
backtrack on Virtual Boy in a minute.
Okay. So Wii U for me, I actually put in C,
Okay.
and I didn't own one when it was released, but I wish I did looking back, because, and again, this is from perspective of today, like everything you said holds true for me when it was released, and even like a year or two ago, I felt the same way, but there actually were some cool games for it. Now I'm talking pre-Switch, because you could get most of these on the Switch now. But like Pikmin 3, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker HD, Splatoon, Bayonetta 2, Mario Kart 8, DK Tropical Freeze, Breath of the Wild, the Xenochronicle games, and Nintendo Land, which was never ported. So again, most of those are on the Switch now. So fine, yeah. But playing them back then was probably kind of cool. But at the same time, that was it. That's your list of games. So I do like the gimmick it had. I do wish the Switch 2 was a reverse Wii 2.
Yeah,
or
that'd be
Wii
pretty cool.
U? Yeah.
Wii U, yeah. I kind of thought that it would be the Switch U.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping too. But again, the Wii U was a victim of its own marketing and its own name,
Quick question on the Wii U. This might prompt me to bump it up to D tier. Did it still have GameCube backwards compatibility?
I don't think so.
All right, F tier.
Let me look. Wait. No, it could not play the disc games. I didn't think that because the last Wii variant, the cheap, I think it was red one, didn't allow it.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Anyone that didn't have those ports didn't allow it.
Yep. So
But I actually didn't know, like I'm in computers, as a profession. It's what I read about. It's what I study all day long. And video games is pretty much my only hobby. And even I was confused at the launch of the Wii U. I didn't know if it was just a new controller with a new looking Wii. You know what I mean? It was just poorly launched.
So going back to Virtual Boy, which is
Yeah.
actually my next, the next one on my list. That's my first D tier. It's another one I never owned, but I wanted it as a kid. But it's probably best I didn't get one. I think I probably would have been disappointed. I give it D and not F because I felt like Nintendo was trying something here. And while they failed at it, I guess, no, I feel like that's unfair because I feel like the Wii U was trying something. But I stand by my convictions. D tier for Virtual Boy.
I mean, they gave up on it so fast. They gave it up on it
Yeah.
faster than, Sega gave up on Dreamcast.
Right. Right. If it was truly portable, I think that would have helped. And if they could have made it somehow a color display, I think that would have helped too. But I
Oh,
think
totally.
the headache issue was not something you could really get around.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I agree. Yep. My first D tier is Nintendo 64. It may have 2 or 3 of Nintendo's best games ever. I actually used to stick up for the controller, but I've been playing it a lot now, the new one for the Switch, and it's really hard to use. And I mean, I get used to it, but still, the analog stick that has, they kind of gate it to 8 directions almost.
Right.
And I don't know, just having those games, I can't make it any higher. And I want to put this higher. Nostalgically, I put it higher in my head because I played it and enjoyed it more than I did with Super Nintendo, which I think is a very rare experience. I kind of consider it like the TurboGrafx of Nintendo systems because it has like a lot of 7 out of 10 games, but not a lot of, 10 out of 10 games, even though it may have like the best 2 or 3 of that generation. And the only reason for me to own one, other than having the Z64 Mr. Backup, which made it easy to have every game for it, I actually owned like Shadows of the Empire, Mario 64, both Zeldas, and Star Fox. And those were like the only games that were exclusive that I really needed, like maybe 1080 snowboarding. I thought it looked better than PS1. I liked the graphics better.
Yeah.
It actually worked on a Silicon Graphics at work at the time, so it looked similar. It looked familiar to me.
Right.
And but when I eventually got a PS1, I think a year and a half later, I ended up enjoying it more than the Nintendo 64.
It's kind of like how I'm not saying that Nintendo is winning anything now, but it's more about the library. So Nintendo's the weaker powered console now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think in this case, PS1, maybe the graphics didn't look as good, but they had a better library for it.
Yeah, and easier to make CDs than carts for sure.
That probably was a big contributor.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you said two of the games for the 64 were probably two of the best games. Did you say they're best ever made, or
Yeah, they're in my top, call it top 20
which two
list.
are we talking here?
But yeah,
Ocarina of
Mario
Time?
64 and Ocarina of Time.
All right, that was gonna be my guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a Majora's person. I like it. I want to replay it soon. The last time I tried to replay it, I did it when I have the Majora's Mask 3DS. So I started playing it on that, and it didn't grab me at the time, but I also think like a shiny new Star Wars game came out at the same time or something like that. So I hopped back to the PS3 or 4, whatever that was on. But I mean, I really like Shadows of the Empire, and if that hasn't been a Game Club game, it really needs to be soon. And I really like Star Fox too. I never played the original before that, but I really enjoyed it.
What were we talking about with the Ocarina of Time? I agree is a really good game. I never played Mario 64. And Majora's Mask, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's one I couldn't get into. I didn't like that it was timed. I
don't like being timed.
I don't like that.
Ever.
I hate that, right?
Wait,
So,
you never
I
played
could take
Mario
it
64?
No.
Ever? Even now?
Even now. Is it on the NSO Plus? Because I can fix that then.
Probably. I didn't look there because I have that 3D pack, the Mario 3D pack that they...
I don't think I've ever played anything beyond, like seriously played and like completed anything beyond Super Mario World.
I still
Mario
enjoy
series.
Mario 64 a lot.
Okay. Well, I will add that to the list if I can play
Yeah.
it easily. So, coincidentally, Nintendo 64 is my next one in the D tier,
Hmm.
above the Virtual Boy. I never owned it. I might have got my hands on one in the store, like the demo at some point. So maybe I did play Mario 64 a little bit at that point. I don't really remember. I was too busy in grad school for Ocarina of Time. I don't think there was any other reason I would have owned it. There was no Metroid 64, and Ocarina of Time. Now you can play it on. Well, it got ported immediately to the GameCube, right? And now you can play it on a whole bunch of things.
Hmm.
So I put it as D tier instead of F because it's not a complete failure. And as weird as that controller was, I feel like it was an important step in the evolution.
And I'm glad you said that because playing Mario 64, you finally felt like someone got 3D right, and the controller was part of it. The way they programmed to that controller.
I have heard that actually, that it was getting 3D right.
Hmm.
So maybe I should give that a chance. It would make sense.
So what's your next one?
Okay, my next one, I go up to the C tier.
Me too.
All right, and that is the Game Boy, and I'm lumping Game Boy Color in with that.
Hmm.
So I want to say that C tier is average, so nobody should be upset about this. C tier is good.
Hmm.
The Game Boy, that was a lifesaver for road trips back in the day. As long as it was light out, or you had all the various lights and magnifying glasses and whatnot to be able to see it in the dark. But the screen, it's pretty smeary.
Yes.
It's kind of, so if you have a lot of action going on the screen, it's kind of hard to track. So it was a lot better for single screen games. The Game Boy Color was better, but not a whole lot better. And also, like, what are the great Game Boy Color games? I don't know if I could name one. We have, for Game Boy, there was Tetris, Gargoyle's Quest, Mega Man, several Mega Man games.
Hmm.
At least the second Castlevania game, maybe not the first. And I don't know if I think there's 3 or 4. Actually, I think the third one was one you picked recently.
And
Operation.
the Mario games, Mario Land games.
Yeah, yep. Operation C was pretty good. I think there was an R-Type port that was good. So I feel like the Game Boy had a lot of good stuff. And even though the Game Boy Color was a little bit better in terms of being able to look at it, there wasn't really any additional games for it. Although, to be fair, I've never played, what was those 2 Legend of Zelda games for it? Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
Yeah,
Maybe those are really good. I don't know. I'll find out eventually.
Yep, I agree with you. I put the Game Boy as my C tier, my first C tier as well.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah. Yep, for all the same reasons. It is a good system. It's just,
right.
a lot of the games
There's
just
better.
for me didn't translate well. Yeah.
Yeah.
My next one on the C tier I put, and people are probably going to be upset, is the SNES.
Oh, okay.
So I actually do like the N64 better than the Super Nintendo, but I'm trying to take society into consideration. And
You don't want to
realize,
get death threats?
yeah, I realize that it's not a popular opinion, but, I know it's on the top of many people's list, but I'm not, a turn-based RPG person.
No, me neither.
And I feel like a larger portion of the multi-platform games from the 60-minute era were actually better on Genesis. Now, there were definitely ones better on the Super Nintendo, but in my perspective, I like the Genesis ones better. And there was a time where I had TurboGrafx, Genesis, and Super Nintendo all plugged in together. And I kind of like this one the worst. I kind of played it the least. Again, Link to the Past is one of the all-time greatest games ever. And I love F-Zero. I didn't care for Mario Kart back then. I thought it was boring and
Okay.
childish.
I liked it. Yeah.
That's why. I like the controller. I thought the controller was the best out of that generation.
Yeah. Yep. It's good. And then it could double as a second D-pad if you really needed it too.
Exactly.
For, Smash TV, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
So for me, Super Nintendo was B tier, and I think it would be S tier if they had the NES backwards compatibility in there. I think that would have made it a killer system. I don't know why they got. I mean, obviously to cut costs, they got rid of that, but that would have made it a total system seller. I mean, they didn't have any trouble moving units either, but
Hmm.
I also ding it a little bit for Mode 7. While I think that's cool and is useful, I feel like there's too much stuff with too much Mode 7 in it. I've realized that Mario Kart relied on that, and I think Mario Kart's good. I think that was a good use of it. I also don't like the sound from the Super Nintendo. It's very muddled. All the
Really?
samples,
Huh.
yeah. So like the Super Metroid soundtrack is great, but it just sounds like the tone knob is turned down too far or something. I don't know. In general, I just prefer the look and sound of the 8-bit systems over the 16, but that's just personal preference.
I totally agree. And especially, um, what's the Contra one on there where it spins the board instead
Yes, I
of?
hate that. Yes,
Oh my god!
that's Contra 3, I think.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god!
recently replayed that for games my mom found, and everybody hated that part.
Yeah,
So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
also
like
had
the
a
idea of Mode 7.
I also had a problem with the emulator for that where it would get stuck, like it was like stuck holding the L button down, so it would just keep spinning and spinning and spinning, and I'd have to save state and quit and restart it. It's a
Nice.
hassle.
Now, and you're not a big turn-based RPG person too, right?
I would say I am the least turn-based RPG person. I mean, I'm kind of already out at RPG and definitely out at turn-based.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my next one is Wii U, so we could skip that.
Okay. Um, for me, this is C tier still. So above Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I put the Wii, which I thought had tolerable motion controls in terms of the motion controls that were out for the different systems. Well, I guess I don't really know because I haven't really played any of the other ones. But it was pretty good. I didn't like that they were doing that. And I just didn't like that we had an entire generation of Nintendo games that needed to use this motion control
Yeah,
thing. So this hot take incoming. The GameCube had already perfected the controller, so this was a huge step back for me. Also, did say something. I was in a conversation recently on the Gamers Week podcast Discord, and my buddy Davey there said something about the GameCube. He said, or something about the Wii. He said he didn't do GameCube, but just wanted to remind you that the Wii was literally a glorified GameCube on larger CDs, and that's not wrong.
hmm,
And it also has unnecessary motion controls. So
yeah,
that's why it's C tier for me.
yeah. I put it B. There were a lot of things I liked about the Wiimotes. I loved the innovation at that time. To me, Nintendo seemed like the Apple of video games.
Mm-hmm.
It both seemed like they had similar tastes, I guess. And I was an Apple fanboy.
Yep.
And
Still am.
I liked that. I liked how the Wiimote felt actually when you turned it sideways to be a NES controller. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was
Yep.
actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that worked all right.
And but I only ranked it B because, like you said, it forced that motion control. Third party didn't. I don't think they sold many games, and they really couldn't figure out any groundbreaking app with it. It turned out mostly to be shovelware. Okay, it's kind of like the Wii is kind of like it had this exact same game lineup as most like VR headsets do now, where everything's like a gallery shooter or something like that.
I was just about to say the one thing that it did really well was the pretend light gun games.
Yeah.
So like House of the Dead, that was a lot of fun to play on that.
Now, did you play the Metroid Prime games on it?
Yes,
What did you
and
think of that?
at the time I preferred the controls of the GameCube.
Hmm.
but it worked fine on the Wii. What I didn't like was for Metroid Prime 1 and 2, you had the D-pad could select your visor, and you had the C-stick to select your weapon. And now, in order to select those things, you had to hold down a button and then like aim the Wiimote to the right visor or the right weapon. And I don't know, it was much cooler to just flick the stick and select your weapon.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Metroid Prime 3 was designed for the Wii to begin with, so that one I didn't really have any effect on.
What was your next system?
We just did Wii, right? Okay, so now I'm in the B tier, and I said the 2DS/3DS, and they would easily be A tier or maybe even S if they had the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance slot in them still.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 2DS. I think it's pretty great. It does give me hand cramps though, when depending on the game I'm playing. I really loved Samus Returns and A Link Between Worlds for it, and then I think we talked last time about hacking it, and I had done that. So now I have whatever I want to play on it.
Yep. Nice. Cool. Yeah, it's so easy to do.
Allegedly, I have that.
I put that in A tier.
Okay.
I think it's the DS refined, and the DS was a fine console, and it could play the whole DS library, which is huge, with a lot of great games there. Yeah, a lot of shovelware, but a lot of great games. And I do like a lot of the 3DS games. I love the dual screen. It's something I wish Nintendo would bring back. And that's
Yeah,
about it.
I wonder if it's done forever. Again, like I thought that the Switch 2, I thought maybe you could have the dock connected to the screen or to your TV, and then
Exactly. I
you
thought
could,
that too.
because then they could sell you DS games all over again.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next?
So my next one in B tier was Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
And so if it had a backlit screen, it would have been A tier. Just the size of the screen. Even, I was in my early 20s when it came out. And even back then, I was like, this screen's too small for it not to be backlit. Like, I don't care about these games anymore. They just look dated already. But now, seeing them on a big screen or even seeing them on my Steam Deck, they're some of the most beautiful games you could possibly have.
Some of them are very brightly colored because it was so hard to see on that original screen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, or even if it had like a built-in component out or something like that,
Oh
like
yeah,
the PSP type thing.
yeah, that would have been a good idea.
But, back then, I didn't care. I didn't care about looking at the library. I just thought portable games were lesser than. Like, I have regular consoles. Why do I need this? And I wasn't traveling much at the time, so I didn't, and I wasn't going to be playing it at work or something, so there's really no reason for me to own one. I in fact ordered one, imported it from Japan to get it early, and I kind of regretted it.
See, I think the GBA is what made me more of a handheld gamer than anything else. I thought it was really good. And actually, that's, for me, GBA is A tier above the GameCube. Regarding the backlight, you did have the SP model that had the backlight, but I preferred the form factor of the original one.
And that screen was even smaller, though, right?
I'm not sure. I thought it was the same size,
It
but
felt small.
okay, maybe. And I know you can get modifications done to your GBA to make it backlit and whatnot, but we're not covering that.
Yeah.
And the Game Boy Micro was interesting, but I didn't want that smaller screen. I kind of wanted one just because I thought it would be cool, but I think the screen's too small on that. But that kind of had the right form factor and a backlit screen.
Yeah.
But I just thought the GBA, it was a massive boost to handheld gaming, had Game Boy and Game Boy Color backward compatibility. So all those games, plus a better format, plus a better form factor is what I'm trying to say. Plus Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, Zelda, Minish Cap, a bunch of other games.
So many games. The library is so big.
And I said that I put it above the GameCube because it's handheld. And like this is what converted me to handheld, to mostly handheld gamer, which is why I like the Switch and the Switch 2 so much. But that's pretty much it on the GBA for me. A tier.
What's your next one?
My next one, did I talk about the? Yeah, we talked about the Super Nintendo already, right?
No. I compared it to the. Oh wait, yeah, we did.
Super
Yes,
Nintendo
we
was
did.
like C tier for you or something, right? Or
Yes,
maybe even
that's
D.
right.
Okay, so my next one would be the start of the A tier, which is GameCube, right below the GBA. What a system this was! The perfect controller, in my opinion. I loved it. It's so good. I want them to make Switch 2 Joy-Cons like that to make the playing the GameCube games easier, because I don't know if you're talking Wind Waker again, but up in the corner it shows all the buttons that you have, right? It's like
They have that.
right. Not one that goes on the Switch. You can get a separate one. Yeah, like I want one. I want to be able to do it handheld. I did find one for the Switch, original Switch. I don't know why, because you can't do GameCube on that. maybe if you've modded yours or something. But anyways, we got Metroid Prime 2, Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventures. We get Ocarina of Time ported to it. Majora's Mask, if that's your thing. Beyond Good and Evil, that's a great game. Eternal Darkness. Resident Evil 4. I think it was exclusive to that at first, right? Because it took them a while to figure out the graphics on the PlayStation 2 for that. And they were kind of muddy. You had the GBA player. You had the GBA Link. It would be S tier for me if it functioned as a DVD player. And I think that they didn't. Some company didn't Panasonic have like a demo unit or something like that where it was also a DVD player.
No, you could buy those in Japan. You can find them on eBay now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget about the demise of the Dreamcast brought all the Sega games to GameCube.
Yep, that's true.
And that was just awesome. I mean, that was huge. So it brought that whole arcade experience. And I really like the Batman games for it. I know that's a hot take. A lot of people don't like those, but
I haven't played those.
They were drawn, I think, by the people that did one of those Batman animated series.
Oh, really? That sounds good.
Yeah. So it's a lot of cool stuff. Some people didn't like the gameplay. I thought it was fine. But like you said, yeah, fantastic library. I got one right when it came out, and it was just a time in my life where I was going out a lot. I was more focused on music and hanging out with friends and stuff. While you were busy in grad school, I was doing the opposite.
I was just
destroying my brain.
I was just out of grad school and had money. So
nice. Yeah.
GameCube, I might have come out before that or slightly after, but it was around that time. Like I was early in my post grad school career, kind of newlywed, no kids yet, living in cheap housing. So it was a good time for me.
GameCube was your best friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I wish I didn't sell mine for a BMX bike. I seriously rode that thing for like a summer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I did a few sweet tricks, and I was like, I'd rather just hang out than
I still have mine, actually. This is one of the systems I held on to. I still have it. I still have the original Wind Waker disc for it and everything. And I think I have the Metroid games for it as well.
Did you go to that GameCube launch party that they did in every city?
No, I wouldn't have even known about that.
Oh.
I wasn't that tapped into it.
I was able to go to that, and it was in Pontiac, Michigan, which Pontiac is, it's a city. It looks like a city. Like it has, I don't want to say skyscrapers, but it's like a mini slum. Sorry to anyone that listens to this that lives in Pontiac, Michigan, but I'm sure you agree. It's not pretty. It's named, the Pontiac car was named after the city.
I was going to make the joke that it's named for the car.
Yeah, and so I actually had a lot of fun in Pontiac back in the day. And since there were so many empty buildings, there'd be like indoor paintball at places and stuff like that, And so they got a warehouse in Pontiac and did it there. And it was just this really strange event, like going to this. It's one of those cities, it's like Gary, Indiana, where you walk around and no one is there. Like you don't see anybody walking around. That's what Pontiac's like, and it was just strange going there for this high tech event, you know.
Mhm.
And a lot of people panned it just because they didn't like Luigi's Mansion. They wanted a Mario game, I guess. But I thought Luigi's Mansion was pretty creative and had cool graphics, and all, you know, a lot of other cool games came out for it really quickly. So I thought it was
There
cool.
was,
I actually like the design of the GameCube.
yeah,
I think it's neat.
yeah. I'm a sucker for a good design.
And also, I was all into, you know, specking out 3D VGA cards, and of course, they had the AMD chip in it.
Yeah.
The what was it, the 128 or something?
I don't remember. I just remember it was an AMD graphics card.
So that was A tier for me. You put it in A tier too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bottom of my A tier.
And we already talked about the GBA, so
Yep.
I'll go next because it's kind of in the same order. You put yours in A, I put mine in B. The DS, we're combining DS, DSi, and Lite. Mine would be A tier, but 3DS took that spot because it could play pretty much all the same games minus the Game Boy Advance games. And of course, I didn't get an original DS, so I never like put a Game Boy Advance game in my DS because I think I forget if I started with the I or the Lite. I can't remember.
The DSi is the one that dropped the port. So
Okay,
I'm
then that's where I started.
kind of not counting that one. I'm ranking the DS and the DS Lite and not the DSi so
Okay.
much because you can't put GBA games in it.
The library is just crazy fun, unique games. You know, again, it's a gimmick, but I liked the gimmick.
Yeah.
Lots of shovelware, so it's kind of hard to know what to buy. But that's why DS is one of my most collected systems, and I can't wait till I retire so I have time to play more games. But it has a lot of 8 out of 10 games. You know, I like having that screen on the bottom for the maps and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And again, I like the 3DS because it had the bigger screen and it could play all these games. Now, the DS also was... Wait. Oh, I'm getting it backwards. I forget which is... If the DS or the 3DS is region locked. I always get that backwards. So so our listeners don't get mad. We'll stop talking about that.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna say it's the DS because I bought, well, unless the US and Japan are the same region. I bought the Japanese version of Metroid Prime Pinball. Oh, that's a DS game, isn't it? Not 3DS game.
That is, I have it here somewhere. It's a DS. Yeah, DS.
Okay, so I would say 3DS might be the region locked one because I bought the DS, or I bought Metroid Prime Pinball, accidentally bought the Japan one, but it plays fine. So
Yeah, you're right. And so did you play it on your 2DS or your DS?
I played it on my 2DS. I think. Maybe I put it on my DS.
Because, yeah, my daughter has a American 2DS, and in Australia, I bought her a few DS cards, and they didn't work.
I remember that. Yeah.
So I forget if it, it's so strange. Region locking is stupid.
Somebody email and explain it to us.
Yes.
So I put the DS at the top of the A tier for me. It's got everything the GBA has and more, plus it's got the wider form factor than the GBA SP, and it is backlit. The DSi ruined the backwards compatibility. I'm not counting that one. I would put that in B or C tier maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I started with the DS Lite. I did not get the first. Sorry, yeah, the DS Lite. I did not get the first
one was
regular
clunky.
DS. It looked a little weird, but the
it
DS
looks like a tech demo.
Yeah, the DS Lite looked really good,
Mm-hmm.
and the DSi looked pretty similar. And I remember when I upgraded to that, I was bummed about the lack of Game Boy backwards compatibility. But I really liked Metroid Prime Hunters, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. And if I looked at the catalog, I could probably name a dozen more.
Now, I do have a DS Lite now that I haven't really played much, but I got it because, gosh, this is like 5 years ago now. I got a lot of DS games that had some games where you plug in something to the
Oh, right. Like
yeah.
Boktai.
I no, I got well, that's a good example, but I got I think Guitar Hero and DJ
Oh,
Hero,
yes. Yeah.
or I don't know if it's Rock Band, one or the others,
Yeah.
but it seems kind of cool to play. So I want to try that sometime. I got it. It works. I turned it on and it works, but it's like really beat up because I was like, I'm only going to play like 2 games on this.
Isn't there also with the DS and the DS Lite, if you broke your top screen, you could basically just snap it off and it would just work like a Game Boy?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, and there's also Rumble packs for some. Oh, in fact,
Right, for Metroid Prime, right?
yeah, that's
Pinball.
right. I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there for
Sweet.
our
There it
listeners to
is.
see. It's right
Yeah.
there.
Close your eyes and imagine
Yeah,
a Rumble pack in the shape of a GBA cart.
yeah. I haven't experienced that one yet.
Yeah, let me know how that works. I'm interested.
So what do we got next? Are we in S tier? Let me look at my
For
A
me,
tier.
yeah. Okay.
GameCube was my A tier.
Okay.
We already talked about that. So
Yes.
S tier, my first S tier is NES. It's the OG. I think it's vastly superior than the Super Nintendo, which I think a lot of people wouldn't agree with.
I think a lot would too, though.
Yeah. But I mean, like you like Super Metroid way more than you like Metroid, and I love
Yes.
Super Metroid, but I think the original Metroid was a system seller for me, even to
I
this
wouldn't
day.
say I wouldn't say I like it way more, but I do prefer Super Metroid to Metroid in terms of the overall game. But you can't beat the graphics and the sound
Oh,
from
totally.
the
Yeah,
NES.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah, but the NES had a solid first year lineup. You know, it had a lot of history in Japan, and I think they chose their original black box games correctly. And out of around 900 games, that includes a lot of the unlicensed games, you know, like the Tencent and stuff like that. I for this episode, I looked through all the Nintendo games, and I would
That's a
say there are
lot.
200 to 300 games worth playing. That's a lot of
Wow.
games.
Okay. French Pret Will did an episode one time where he went through all the
Oh,
Nintendo.
really?
He went through all the NES stuff, and I think it was a separate episode where he did it for all the Super Nintendo stuff. And then he's like, "There, definitive proof that the NES was better."
That
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that because
yeah,
yeah,
I
two
don't know
to
if those are
three
still
hundred
available.
games. What's that?
I don't know if those are still available.
Oh,
You might have to dig through the archive of the internet for that. But
but 200 to 300 games worth playing, and I would say 200 plus games are pretty damn good games.
how many are there? I thought there was like
900.
300. There's 900.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
just
There's a
wild.
there's a what's the name of the podcast? Nostalgia, where they're going chronologically through all the games, just the ones released in North America, I guess.
Okay,
So I think that limits it to maybe like 500 or 600. But yeah, they got their work cut out for them.
no, the 900 North American games. Yeah, that's not Famicom.
So
It's
wow.
yeah. The Nintendo seal of quality was garbage, though. That was
Oh
such a
yeah, yeah.
farce.
That was a money making scheme.
Yeah.
The NES was also my first S tier. I just love that system. I have so much nostalgia for it. The 8-bit graphics, 4-channel sound based on waves and in a noise channel. You can make so much wonderful music with that, and people have like any
Mm-hmm.
Capcom game, any Konami game. There's just so many good games with incredible music. I also know 6502 assembly, which the 6502 is what the NES ran on. So I
Mm-hmm.
can kind of comprehend the programming. And so I really like to watch the videos where they dig into the code a bit.
Yeah.
Just so many games for this. I'm not going to list 200 to 300, but Metroid, 6 Mega Man games, Bionic Commando, 3 Ninja Gaiden games, Gradius, Life Force, Legendary Wings, Contra, Super Contra, Legend of Zelda 2, Crystallis, Metal Gear, Double Dragon 2, and there's a pretty decent port of Smash TV.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the 3 Super Mario Brothers games, Battletoads, and that was just the ones I could list off the top of my head immediately. So, and that would, that's why the NES is S tier for me.
I mean, all the Sunsoft games, Batman, Blaster Master, those are S tier games, classics that don't get old.
The Batman one is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what you missed there.
I'm sure I missed
the Turtles
a ton.
arcade game. I couldn't believe that was on an 8-bit
Oh yeah,
system.
it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Even
couldn't
the first
believe
one's not bad
they
except for
did
the
it.
seaweed stage. Yeah.
So just, there's a reason why people go back to the system so much, and there's a reason why kids now can play it and still have fun, And that leaves one system, right?
Yes, and I was going to say the NES would be my number one, except the number one is the Switch, and I'm going Switch/Switch 2 because they're kind of like an upgraded Switch, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first on this?
Well, it's just, you make the argument the Switch has all the greatest games. It has the biggest great library from every generation, plus,
Yep.
the newer Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey games are S tier games, and the Joy-Cons are, I think, pretty cool. The Pro Controller, if you don't want the Joy-Cons, it's great hardware, even though it was dated when it was launched. And Switch Online actually gives you a lot of cool games, and you could also buy a lot of Arcade Archive games that play fantastic.
Yeah, they have a lot of. What was the one? Saint Dragon was one that you guys covered recently, and I bought the Arcade Archive of that, and that was a fun
super
game to
cool.
play. Yeah,
Those aren't cheap. They're more expensive than they should be.
it wasn't that bad, but yeah, they're not giving them away for sure.
What, they're like $9, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it seems like they should be $3 at this
Yeah,
time.
I
They're
was
30
going to
years
say
old.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say enough nice things about the system. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna shill for the NSO subscription as well, which I hate. I hate having a subscription to stuff. I'm part of the problem, and I'm a Nintendo, but I accept that. It's so great to be able to, on a handheld with a great screen, to be able to play NES, Super Nintendo, GBA, Game Boy Color, now also Nintendo 64 and GameCube.
Genesis.
And Genesis. I feel like there's something else too, right? Like some other not Nintendo system. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I forget.
Maybe, maybe it's probably. I'm probably thinking of a game that you can buy that is just basically an emulator. But I know we can emulate all that stuff for free. I get it, but this is convenient. I can just pick it up, and like when I'm done with it, you just turn it off and put it back. And when I'm ready to play again, you just pick it up, turn it on, and it's ready to go. Like it's. I can't tell you how much I love being able to do that. There's no boot up time or anything. I'm sure PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and whatever else, I'm sure those have similar features, but this is what I know and I love it. The form factor is great. It's nice and wide, doesn't hurt my hands, except for Super Mario World Kart. What is it? Mario Kart World.
Mm-hmm.
You named some great games. I'm also going to say Metroid Dread, Link's Awakening, Ender Magnolia, the Ori games, Hollow Knight, Haiku, Echoes of Wisdom, Metroid Prime Remastered, the 3 Blaster Master Zero games, maybe not the third one so much. Portal 1 and 2, if you haven't played those.
Oh, I didn't know those were on Switch.
Yeah, it works really well on Switch.
Cool.
Baba Is You, Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World, 2 Axiom Verge games, Cyber Shadow, that's a great one if you like Ninja Gaiden. That's like an old 8-bit style one. 2 Guacamelee games, and Superliminal. Plus, we have Metroid Prime 4 on the way. It can't get here soon enough, and I'm so jealous that you got to play the demo.
I think now in California, in the bigger cities, I think certain Targets still have Prime setups now. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should look around.
Okay. I've got a Target right near me, but probably they won't have it here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
I got to go take my son shoe shopping anyway, so I'll look while I'm there.
at the very least, I know they have, most of them have Donkey Kong Bonanza setups too.
Okay. I heard good things about that.
Yep, I have it. So I haven't played it because I've been playing a lot of retro. So since this, first of all, I like that. I like that we have pretty much like someone's going to email and say like, entertainment system wasn't their first system. I don't care.
We're definitely wrong. Yeah, there was something else before that, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what that was.
Yeah, no one cares. Okay. But that we have their first system and their latest system in the top tier.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm going to we should rattle off our list just so listeners is probably a little bit confusing. And, feel free to write in your list. Feel free to even to just say if there's a specific system you rate higher or lower than most people. We'd love to hear from you. Email at retrogameclub.net or the Discord or any of the socials. But F tier for me was Game & Watch, Virtual Boy. D was Nintendo 64. C, Game Boy, SNES, Wii U. B, Wii, Game Boy Advance, the DS series. A tier, 3DS, 2DS, GameCube, and S tier, NES, Switch 2.
Okay, and for me, I had F tier, just like you, Game & Watch, and the Wii U. D tier, I had Virtual Boy, or Virtua Boy, as you like to call it, Nintendo 64. C tier was Game Boy Color, and the Wii. B tier, I had the 2DS/3DS and the Super Nintendo. A tier, I had GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and the DS. And for S tier, we had the NES and Switch 2.
Yeah, a lot of great systems here. And some of them the best systems of their generation, some of them the worst. Well, hey, if you don't make mistakes, you never know, right?
Right.
And, when Nintendo 64 was coming out, since I rated that, we both rated it pretty low. When I heard the specs, when I heard they were sticking with carts, I thought that was a good idea. Because I wanted, not only did I didn't want everything to go to CD-ROM all at the same time,
Okay, yeah.
And RAM prices were getting cheaper. Or I guess I should say ROM prices. But, so I thought they could do a lot with it. And they did. But, it just didn't really... I guess third party didn't agree with my excitement for it.
Right.
But yeah, any closing thoughts?
No, but if you like ranking stuff, my show is absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress, and we rank stuff. Currently caught up on the MCU, and we'll be starting shortly the Alien and Predator movies.
Nice. Have you watched Alien Earth?
I did watch those yesterday, yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. I haven't seen it yet.
Thumbs up for the first episode. The second episode has me a little worried.
Oh, no. What about...
I'm very picky, though.
Well, shocking. I haven't noticed. What about Alien Romulus?
I really liked it when I saw it in the theater, and then when I rewatched it at home, I didn't like it as much. So I'm going to have to watch it a few more times, I think, to really decide. I definitely still like it. I think it's good. There's a couple of problems with it that really stick in my craw. A few plot holes and a couple of fan service moments where I'm just like, you didn't need to put that in there, please.
Yeah. I thought it was a great horror flick. I don't know about alien flick, but it was a good scary movie.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it.
But again, that's email at retrogameclub.net. And thank you for joining us on this extra episode.